Okay, ladies, it is time for our next question in our chapter of questions from 101 essays that will change the way you think. Brianna Wiest. No, we don't get any kickback from this. I'm saying
No.
that. And the question today is, who from your past are you still trying to earn the acceptance of? Who
Dun
from
dun
your
dun.
past, I know, are you still trying to earn the acceptance of?
Earn the acceptance of.
This might be the most quiet episode we have. Can that person be from your past but still in your present?
Well, I would think so. I don't think it means that the person necessarily has passed on. I interpret the question as in the past, and the past could be like last week, 10 years ago
Okay.
when I was five. Um, that the acceptance of that person, and again, acceptance could mean something different for each of us. It could be an acceptance of friendship, acceptance of love, acceptance of whatever. Are we still yearning for, that we're still looking for? We have not. It could be very, very quiet, that, but it is still there.
I'm going to be extremely, I can't even believe I'm going to share it. And I know both of you girls, sometimes you look at me and say, like, where did that come from? So I take the word acceptance also as being proud of.
Mhm.
And I think it's two people I've never heard this word from. And I've released it to a point of I don't need it any longer, but there's still that a little bit of me that still wants to hear it.
Mm.
And that is from my children.
Mm.
You know, that sounds odd. That hurt just coming out of my mouth.
Hmm.
Um, it is,
Not expecting that.
yeah. And it's not, I think it's from my going out and doing the races aspect. I think that's the area I look for it from. I looked for it big time in the beginning, and I had to have a hard conversation with myself and ask those infamous question as to why, like really dig deep. So now I don't need it, but I would love to hear it.
Mm.
I'm not doing my race for them to say it, but that would be that would be like me winning the lottery ticket.
Oh,
Mm.
And you probably ask why, and I'd be like, I think it's more like being seen for the hard work that I'm doing.
mm.
Like
Well,
you
that
can't
makes
tell
that
me
makes sense.
you can't tell me there's other, and I know there's other mothers, but in your circle there is no other mother out there doing what I'm doing. Like, come on. But that took me, I'm going to say that took me a good 6 years to get over, 6, 7 years. And I've never heard that from either one of them. But yeah, I'm always the first to say it to them. because I think it's important to hear.
I wonder
So,
if they just think that you just know,
yeah,
like,
Mhm.
well, why would we tell her? She just knows. She just knows
yeah.
everything, right?
So then why would I tell my son? He should just know.
And how often is that the case that
Mhm.
people don't
Hmm.
say what should be said or what could be said, with the thought process that, well, you already know that. So like I'm not giving you any news here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Wow.
though, as moms, I don't want a blanket statement and everything, that we tend to, you know, support, and that just kind of comes with the territory. And as a child, you don't think of it that way back. Like, you don't look back at your mom and go, I want her to know I'm proud of her, because it's not at the thought process.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a good one. I like that one.
Oh, okay. Don't
No,
leave
no,
me
no. I
hanging
know, no.
here.
I'm gonna go to ask my kids. I'm gonna say, why don't you ever say anything good about me?
Oh, and that's it. I mean, they tell me they love me,
Yeah,
and
yeah. No,
that's all that's there. But yeah, I don't.
recognize
It,
recognize something that.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's just yeah. I can't. But it has. So you asked the question. I had to answer it there.
What about you, Tracy?
I was going to say, don't leave me hanging here.
Okay, so I don't know.
Yeah.
This
See.
so based on that, we always talk about. I think our last episode is like, what's the first thing that came in your head? And initially, like, my parents, but they're passed, and they didn't actually come in my head. Who came in my head was younger me, and I
Hmm.
was like, younger me expected this over here at in this time of my life. And I don't think younger me has accepted me yet. Like, I think younger me is still going, you didn't do what you said you were going to do. You did
I
not.
love that.
You
That
did not.
is.
If whatever was in that little shopping cart of what you were going to do, you haven't done it.
Oh,
So I don't know. That's what she was talking about, the author of the book. But that's the
no,
first thing
that's
that came up to me was like
I.
you have
So
not.
how do you think you can get her to accept you?
uh, probably fulfill what I thought, um, I don't want to say destiny, but what I thought I would have accomplished, right?
Hmm.
Like, I've accomplished a lot, and I'm not, and there's
Oh
lots
no,
of
I'm
things
not
in my
taking that.
life,
Yeah,
but there's this piece of me from back then that just thought something different right now. And so I am absolutely going to explore that concept when
well,
we get
thank
off
you.
this
Thank you
phone.
for that. That's
Because
what I want
it came
because
like so quick. It was so quick. It was like, oh,
and here's the thing. The
that
first thing that came
Tracy.
to my mind is, well, maybe that wasn't your destiny, but she hasn't let it go yet. And maybe it is something,
I think
but
it is.
maybe it isn't.
I think it is. I
And
think it
maybe
is.
that's from the word adventurous.
Maybe. But and as you guys know, like, the shy, quiet, and
Hmm.
finding my voice, and I think
Yep.
there's something all in there. So I might even write something down.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good.
no, that's a great question because, yeah.
Yeah. Tracy E, it's only taken
Yeah.
us like 2.5 years to get her to say she's going to journal.
Yeah, really,
I
eh?
said write something
Journal.
down. I said write
Well,
something down.
That
that's still a
counts.
journal.
That counts.
That counts.
That's a journal entry. Yeah, it does. What's the question? Who from your past are you still trying to earn the acceptance of? Well, I guess I would have to say it's my dad.
Well, don't say it just like that, your dad. Why that's something that is there. Why is you're
Yeah.
looking for that acceptance?
Oh God. Well, we don't want this to turn into a therapy session, but um
Okay.
I
I shared about my children. Like, come on.
um my dad died in 2011, and he was, I don't know how old that would have made me. A lot younger than now, that's for sure. Um, I've just always wanted my dad to say he was proud of me. I yearned for that forever. And I think he may have said that once or twice to me. But there was a caveat to it. So, um, I just think I've always just wanted to have felt that, and I think that's the important part, because
Yeah.
it's not necessarily that it wasn't given, it was probably given in the way he could give it, but I needed to feel it differently, for myself to actually receive it. And I always felt that little tick box doesn't exist.
Mhm. And that I like the way that you sometimes we look for things that people don't have the ability to give.
Hmm.
So, and that's what my question would have been to you. Was your
Hmm.
father somebody who could very easily vocalize that? Like, did you hear him spread that to everybody else and not you?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely not. I don't, and like I
Yeah.
said, um, I think he gave that to me in the best way he knew how to deliver that.
Right.
But what I actually wanted and needed, I did not receive it. I did not get that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
I
so
can,
I think while that explaining it that way is, it soothes it. It's like it's
mhm,
not, it's like, it calms the waters. Um, those waves still haven't hit shore yet.
absolutely.
Mhm.
I think for all three of us, this is a very hard question.
Mhm.
And it hits when I say that was painful to say, because when you're saying something that's so deep in you and you
Mhm.
release it, there's feeling behind it.
Mhm.
Um, but I think in our own way, it helps us to say that,
Mhm.
you
It's a
know,
step in
Trace,
healing.
yeah, Tracy G, she's going to get adventurous and she's going to write down things. And even though she's telling us it's not journaling, she is going pen to paper.
But
For
just even
me,
but even just the
yeah,
thought that you asked that question and that you,
yeah,
like you said, you released it, Michelle, or that you see the waves have been hit the shore, which I thought was very poetic.
yes,
It's again a good way to just kind of check in with yourself.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
yeah.
And
I,
do you even want to hold on to that? It's
yeah,
like, I mean, it's not like I think about this all the time. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
about that. It was the first, that literally was the first thing that entered my brain when I read the
right.
question.
yeah,
Oh God, yeah, okay, I know the answer to this one. But it's not like
yep,
it's a thought process. I
Hmm.
think about my dad all the time without that thought.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't have that. It's not like an overarching whatever. The question posed
Yeah.
that emotional part,
right.
part of that. So, whose damn idea was
How
this?
many more questions are there? I don't know if I can get through it.
There's seven more, but
We've only
I
done like three or four of them.
three. We've done three. But I think in looking over them, this one is the most that to me, this one was the hardest one to do. And I think it's because we have to admit something that hurts.
Mm,
Mhm.
Whether it's a painful hurt, whether it's just a sadness, whether it's an emotion that we have to acknowledge. And in some way, shape, or form, we've all three of us buried it a little bit until the
Mhm.
question was asked.
Yeah, the realization
And
that you still
yep,
are seeking something.
yes, something.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I mean, like for all three of us, we have moved to another part within our life, but we're still healing from that other thing that we
Sure,
brought up.
sure.
Yeah.
And that will
Wow.
always be the case.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It will always be the case. And that's
It
okay
will be.
too.
It will
It's
be.
okay too.
Okay. How would you answer this question, dealer? And it's, you don't have to tell us. You can tell us. You could write it down. But it's just something to give a thought to.
Mm.
And how would, if you need help processing through it, let us know. Share this with somebody who you think might be interested in this. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button and notifications so you know when the next episode is coming out. Until next time.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.